trainer. I've been a dog trainer and behavior expert for over 20 years now. I started off in the UK as a dog walker. I had a dog walking company and also a dog sitting company at the same time as I was trying to become the world's most famous actor. And I went to university and drama school, but all throughout that, had my sort of second job, as it were, which was dog sitting and dog walking. Through that, I started to become really fascinated in the way dogs learnt. And then I began to study to become a dog trainer. So I moved to New York City in 1999, and I opened my dog training business there called Dog Trainers of New York, followed by Dog Trainers of New Jersey. And after doing that for many years, I then came up with the idea for a television show because at that time I was working in rescue and I was really sick of the waste of life I was seeing in the shelters in New York City and the five boroughs. And I thought there needs to be some bigger vehicle than what I can do right now that will get the message out there about responsible pet ownership, but also that if your dog has a behavior issue, there's something you can do. And that's how I came up with the idea for It's Me or the Dog. I was a young mum. My daughter was about 8 months old. And I sat down to watch the first episode of The Super Nanny. Jo Frost, right? The Super Nanny was big at that time in the UK, but they also brought her over to America. So I was seeing the first American show. And I remember getting really excited. I was like, yes, that's what I need to do for dogs. So I found out who the producers were. They were a production company in the UK based in Brighton. And I wrote them an email that night with my treatment, with my idea. Instead of crazy kids, I'd be working with crazy dogs. And the rest is history. They contacted me the next day, and my husband was a videographer. And so they were like, can you show us some footage of you training and your idea? So we went, and I was working with a crazy, wonderful family in New Jersey at the time. So I asked if it was okay if I could film with them. And we did. We made an 8 minute little teaser, I should say, called Super Trainer. And that's what sold it to Channel 4. That's how It's Me or the Dog was born. Gosh, that was in 2000, late 2004. So 2005, it started airing It's Me or the Dog. And now we just finished filming the 10th series. So yes, in the UK, that's going to be coming up in August. And I have also finished filming the second season of another show for Channel 4 called The Dog Academy. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Plus, I also run an academy to train dog trainers or to teach people to be dog trainers. And I have a great website.
And that is a perfect example of a go-getting attitude.
I was just thinking the same.
I'm just going to do this and see what happens. I love that.
Yes, it was a really, I hadn't done, I mean, I'd done a few TV stuff as an actor before, and I'd done some voiceovers, but I'd never trained a dog on television at all. And so it was, but I remember knowing that my idea was the right idea and it was going to work. And I remember sitting as I put my daughter to bed, and I had gone to sit in my bed and just watch TV and just relax for a little bit. And then I just remember I started shaking all over because I was like, this is the idea. This is it. This is how we're going to rescue more dogs. And I just knew it was going to work. Now, it's not easy to get a television show, and it's not easy convincing people, and so it was quite a process. But in terms of television at that time, it was quite short. So that was in November, and by March we were filming the pilot. Yeah, so it truly was. And I've always been like that, fly by the seat of my pants kind of person. And it just not afraid to take risks. And some things don't work. In fact, when you're talking television and media, you can come up with 20 ideas and only one will work, but it's not for want of trying. My husband runs our business full time now, and I will run to him sometimes and go, I got a great idea. And he rolls his eyes and goes, oh my God, what
What's
now?
coming?
And then he goes, that sounds fabulous. How are we going to do it?
I love that question. That is my favorite question to ask all the time. Isn't it? It's like, oh, how? How are we going to do it? Not like, oh, it's not possible or you can't do that. It's like, brilliant. How are we going to do it? And I think it's just such it's such an important question to ask. And I think that this can relate so much to people in the dog training industry at the moment who may be feeling a little bit stuck, or there's still this, I feel like whilst movement is definitely going in the right direction, and certainly we're hoping we get to be a big part of that as well, because I think we've both had that same feeling that you were just describing, of that full shaking, just full knowing that what we're doing is going to make a huge difference. It's when people are feeling that overwhelmed and going, how can I possibly just make this training business work for me? It's, where do you turn to get that question answered? And who is going to be the person that's going to help you on that journey? And I suppose, where do you even know on where to turn on that? So I suppose in your example, you were saying you knew to contact the producer of that Super Nanny show, but it's that determination to try and figure out who that is in the first place.
Yeah, I had no idea how to write a treatment as an idea, and how to write a treatment for television. So it's quite it takes quite a long time. So, but I, at that time, I don't even know if we had Google at that time. But anyway, I went online and I found out, how to write a treatment for television. And that's for if you've got an idea for a TV show. And they had some information out there, and I did it. I followed it. And so it was not a well thought out plan, but it was something that I absolutely knew that I had to do from my very core. And that's why, regardless of whether you like It's Me or the Dog or not, regardless of what you think about training techniques or not, the reason why it works is not so much because I do think it's a great show and we do have great families and interesting problems, and hopefully the training is good too. But it's 100% genuine. It comes from 100% genuine place. And that's what I always tell students of the Victoria Stilwell Academy, and anybody that is interested in becoming a dog trainer, is that if you are authentic, it will shine through. And that's it. Be authentic and be genuine.